Hey everyone.
Hi guys.
Lovely to see you again. We're back. We're still bringing you content despite the carnage, and we're back in our loft, as you can see.
Yeah,
the
happy to be
building
here.
is still standing. So today is a completely brand new thing to me, but something I've read a lot about, something that Dan has introduced me to again, which I love. This is Ganymede.
So this is
Or
Ganymede.
Ganymede. I've never known how to pronounce it.
I'm inclined to say Ganymede.
Ganymede.
By Marc-Antoine Barrois. So this is another fragrance which is nominated for an Art and Olfaction Award for 2020. So yeah, it's good that we can cover another one of those. I kind of happened upon this by chance, I guess, twice, which is weird. So I bought a copy of Nez, which is a magazine, perfume magazine from a shop in the UK in Bristol called Shy Mimosa, and when I bought a copy in maybe March or April, they sent me a free sample of Ganymede. A few months later, I bought the next edition of it, and they actually sent me another sample of Ganymede.
Awesome.
Along with a sample of B683, which is the other fragrance from them. So they've sent me two samples. So thank you very much.
Well, I must visit this place in Bristol.
Yeah, they've got a lot of interesting brands, actually. They sell all of the Gallion fragrances.
Yeah, I might pop in. My sister actually works around there, so
Get her to pop in.
can you go and buy me some perfume, please?
So, do you want me to spray you? I've
give it a spritz.
worked through one sample, and this is the second sample. So I've worn this a bit. Joe hasn't sprayed it before. Here
And I
you
have
go.
literally no idea what to expect with this.
I'll just give you a little bit of chat. So, this is Marc-Antoine Barrois is a fashion brand, and he's released their first fragrance about 3 years ago, 2016 I think it was, which is B683, which we might chat about a bit in the moment. After having the brand for about 10 years, and now he's released his second fragrance, Ganymede, both of which the perfumer is Quentin Bisch, who's done a few fragrances for Etat Libre d'Orange, for Jean-Paul Gaultier, and also did the 1 million parfum.
Quite a pedigree there, isn't it?
Absolutely. What do you think?
I like it. I immediately one thing comes to mind, which is that slightly burnt orange vetiver thing of Terre d'Hermès. A little bit.
Yeah. You
That
definitely
sort of ballpark.
Yeah, I definitely got a Terre d'Hermès vibe. It was interesting when
It's good though.
this is a fragrance when based on things I'd heard of it before, I wasn't interested in trying it. I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, this is very blind buy safe. This is very office safe," which are things which don't immediately.
They're kind of opposite of where we.
But I thought, I should try and test it, and be objective about it. So you definitely get a little bit of Terre d'Hermès, don't you?
Yeah, I'm not even detecting vetiver per se, but I'm getting that DNA. But also, I have to say, there's a lovely kind of weird fizzy ginger ale thing or something going on there. Maybe not ginger ale, but
I think it's
quite futuristic.
It is futuristic. The thing I would say about this fragrance, and I don't mean this as a critical thing to say about it, I think it smells very synthetic. Now, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, synthetic is bad." I don't think synthetic is bad. All of the greatest perfumes ever created contain synthetics.
Yeah.
What I mean by synthetic is I think this actually smells quite abstract. This doesn't.
Yeah.
It's quite. I was surprised, given that people have said, "Oh, it's really easy wearing." It's quite difficult to pin down in a way. I've got this. There's a slightly kind of fruity, orangey, mandarin-y opening.
Yeah.
But there's a suede kind of quality, but there's also a weird metal, like a metallic quality. I said
It smells more like a taste. It's like if you get a taste in your mouth.
or a texture or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Bit of new carpet.
I get this real metallic quality, and I was saying to Joe, if you ever smell, get these ionizer machines to kind of deionize the air, it kind of smells. If you smell that air, I get a little bit of it, which kind of makes me think of being in a spaceship.
Yeah.
Which is maybe not what the intention is.
It smells almost. Somehow it smells not the perfume itself, but it smells almost like a space that's too clean.
Yeah, well,
Like
I think that's what
slightly
ionized air
too
smells.
clean.
It kind of smells like it's air which has had has been affected. It doesn't
Yeah.
smell quite natural.
Or the inside of a packet of tennis balls.
Yeah.
That kind of thing,
Yeah,
without
yeah.
smelling like tennis balls.
Yeah, and with that slight,
Or any kind of
there's a
packaging.
hint of the kind of metal in the packaging.
Yeah.
Um,
What's interesting, I have to say. I think that's a really
the other thing which I think goes on with
different thing.
this metallic idea is the kind of violet leaf. And I told you that I get a hint in this. It doesn't smell exactly like it, but I was reminded of Fahrenheit, and I certainly get that kind of like oiled, mechanical
Yeah.
feel.
And a little bit of that sort of diffusiveness that violet leaf can have. It's slightly gassy.
Yeah.
So I'm getting a slight bit of like very, very, very cleaned up polite cumin as well.
Well, you see,
Or something weird like that.
interesting. I don't think I know exactly what you mean. There is definitely a curry vibe, and the curry vibe stays for a while. So it's actually immortelle. I remember.
Really? Yeah.
Do you remember when I sent you a message that I was out and about, and I happened to be wearing this fragrance, and I was in a National Trust place, which is a big kind of a stately home with kind of some gardens, and I said I smelt a really strong smell of curry, and I turned a corner and I saw an immortelle bush. And it was amazing that you could smell it for 20 meters or so. So it's immortelle in this. But the way it's used in here, I really find interesting because it kind of plays with this metallic vibe. And it never goes, rather than going sexy, it somehow becomes bitter spice. It almost kind of, not quite acrid, but just it keeps that metallic edge to it.
I know what you mean. I get, yeah, like, I think that's why I got this idea of something like a cleaned up spice. It was, if you gave your kid one of those toy kitchens to play with and some toy spices,
Yeah.
this would be like Lego.
Yeah.
This would be Lego cumin.
Yeah,
there was such
so
a
that's
thing.
that's a really good way of putting it. But almost, I also get the sensation of if you've taken a spice out of a tin, and as you open the tin, you get the smell of the metal.
Yeah.
Almost in equal parts of the smell of the spice. But when I wore this, maybe you're not getting this on skin. Do you want to try a squirt on skin? Well,
Yeah,
I definitely
actually,
got
that's not a bad idea.
quite a. I'll let you go for it. But I definitely did get this suede leather vibe. Again, it was quite.
Yes,
I
that's
think
more interesting.
it's something which I would describe as a slightly kind of synthetic kind of leather as well.
See, I get a lot more fruitiness at the beginning there. I mean, I think
Definitely.
I'm getting a nice juicy mandarin.
Yeah, it's definitely a kind of quite a fruity, orangey opening.
I tell you what, I rather like that. I wouldn't normally go for something like that.
Yeah,
But it is just weird enough to be like safe, interesting,
yeah.
rather than safe, boring.
I mean, I was saying to Joe as I was wearing this a few times, I kept kind of going kind of full circle on this. I didn't expect to like it when I first put it on, and then I was quite surprised that it did feel quite original. And whilst my very first impressions, I think when I first sprayed it, I sprayed it and went out. I was quite busy, and I was just getting a waft, which I would describe as slightly generic designery. Something which I
Yeah.
could smell walking around a department store. Nothing that special. But as I wore it, I realised there was a bit more to it, and I understand people's comments of saying that it's office safe and it's blind buy worthy or blind buyable, and that it's not a big risk. But yet, I still find it quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know something I'm getting now, and I wasn't getting before? Declaration by Cartier. That's what I'm getting.
Interesting.
That orange, but with that slight bit of spice behind it.
Yeah.
I'm getting it really strongly, but there's more to it. I'm also getting a candy floss thing going on,
Yeah.
slightly out of place, but also works.
You also get, I don't know if you get it
Like
on
Dollar
skill,
or
but they get
something.
this mineralic quality, and I don't know
Yeah.
if it's a nod to, so Ganymede, that the moon is one which is covered in seas, kind of saltwater. I think it even says on their website it's covered in saltwater seas. So I don't know if there's a nod to that as well, having this, which I guess it gives it a slight kind of fresh, not quite aquatic quality, but that mineralic
Yeah,
freshness.
it's not quite aquatic fresh, but it is salty. It is iodine
Yeah.
It is like ambergris-esque.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is ambergris in this, but that salty sweet play, I think I could easily imagine it. I like that. It's like raspberry donut thing.
I think it's quite an impressive thing to create a fragrance which is at once it's not going to be put off. I think it could be quite a popular fragrance, and I think it's an office safe fragrance. But yet it's something which keeps you interested and keeps you guessing. And it's one which I could have easily dismissed if I had picked this up in a shop and sprayed it. I definitely wouldn't have smelt it again. I wouldn't have given it a chance at all. So I've quite enjoyed exploring.
Do you know? You just made me think of something. Have you seen Tootsie?
No.
Dustin Hoffman film. It's really good. He plays this. He plays the female character in that, and he's sort of with the wig and the makeup and everything. But he did an interview years later, and he was talking. It's a long-winded story, but he was talking about how he said to them, "Okay, now I look like a woman. Now can you make me more beautiful?" And they said, "No, this is as good as we can get you." And it really broke his heart. He's crying in this interview because he realizes that so many women over the years he's just dismissed because they didn't have that sort of immediate beauty that would have drawn him in, and he feels that he missed out on so many interesting people. And what you just said there made me think that exact same thing with this. If I picked this up in a shop, I would spray it on a card and I'd go, yeah. Where's the camel shit and where's all the stuff I like?
Where's all the rose? Where's the ooh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I would have ignored that completely.
Yeah.
And now that I put it on skin, because this is the thing, I would never spray this on skin.
Yeah.
In a shop, I'd spray it on a card, and I actually really like it. I think it's kind of simple, it's safe.
Yeah.
But it's got enough interest.
Yeah.
I think that's.
It's also interesting.
That's a good perfume.
The price, so it's £150 for 100ml, which in terms of niche fragrances is pretty cheap. It's cheaper than Amouage, it's cheaper than Creed, it's cheaper than Tom Ford Private Blend. So we're definitely on the low side for a niche fragrance. And I
very approachable in all respects.
And initially I thought, well, actually it's on the expensive side for a designer fragrance, but I think it's definitely more interesting than your average designer fragrance.
Yeah, it's well put together, and I think it's just trying to do quality, simplicity at a decent price. I mean, it's sort of what a lot of perfume aspires to be and doesn't quite get there in terms of the designers and the niche.
I did find this didn't last a very long time on me at all. This lasted for about 5 hours, maybe 6 hours. It was slightly fleeting. And it's also, I'm not quite sure when I would want to wear it. That's the other thing. I guess it would kind of work all the time because it's got that kind of bright, kind of fruitiness that you could wear it on a hot day, but also there's a slight leatheriness which would kind of work on a cold day. I think it leans quite masculine, I would say.
Yeah, that weird metallic vibe.
Yeah.
It's quite forthright, isn't it? Not that a woman couldn't wear it, but I think it's like a sort of a space age fougere.
Yeah, space age fougere. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I still think it. I would, if I were to use only one word to describe the smell, I would say synthetic. It does smell not natural. Do you want to try?
I think that is a good fragrance though.
So this is we'll just try a little bit of the B6A3 because I feel this has got a lot of the same DNA. There's another big note which comes off straight away, which is not a note I like very much. I get quite a lot of saffron when I first smell this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, this is, I think I tried this before, the first of the two. A lot of saffron on it, and I struggled to get past the first spray of this because I got very generic Oriental.
Yeah, I mean that feels like it's kind of playing on the old, Arabian oud saffron rose intersection.
Yeah. But I feel like it's
dry teakwood or something.
It shares quite a lot of DNA with Ganymede, but I just wonder if they've made a more interesting version with Ganymede.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm starting to get through this though? A fragrance I used to really enjoy was from Issey Miyake, the blue.
Yeah,
bottle.
yeah, I had that. Yeah,
I'm getting a little hint of that
juniper-y,
that
isn't it?
slight herbaceous quality. It's reminded me a little bit of that Issey-Miyake Blue, I have to say.
Interesting. I definitely get kind of saffron-y leather.
Yeah.
I think saffron is a note which kind of leaps out at me because I don't like it very much.
Yeah, it can often be intrusive. Like I never like a perfume where the top note becomes intrusive and unrelenting, and it sort of doesn't go away, or it doesn't develop, or it doesn't change. Apart from Parfum Aroma, which is, I love, but it can feel slightly artificial and slightly intruded.
Yeah.
And I think that could be in that territory. If you told me on the other hand this is a really nice spiced gin,
Yeah,
I'd think
I know
differently.
you mean.
I'd be like, okay, that's.
I smell the Ganymede on your hand again.
Oh, the Ganymede, there it is.
Yeah, it is. I was really surprised. I was really preparing not to like this, and the first spray I didn't like it, and I'm really glad that I gave it some time because I think it's an interesting fragrance, and it'd be interesting to see. Again, my first reaction is it was nowhere near the same league as something like Bee by Zoologist, which is a very different price. So I think that's $165 for 60 ml. Anyway, it's almost double the price of this, and it does smell much more expensive. The Zoologist smells like a much more expensive fragrance than this, but this is an interesting one.
It holds its own.
It's creative, and I can understand, therefore, why it's up for an award.
Yeah, I wish it well. I wish it luck, I have to say.
So good. I think interesting to see what people comment on this, because I think it's... Yeah, I've seen lots of different things said about it, so it'd be interesting to see if you completely disagree with what we've said, and let us know. Till next time, happy sniffing!